Hello everyone, welcome to a trade review video. In this video I'll be going over my official trade number 93, my USDT long position. I posted this about 9 hours ago, obviously in the Haven. It has already hit take profit 1. If you haven't seen these videos before, this is not a way for me to give you hindsight analysis or anything like that. This is a way for me to verbally explain my thought process of the trades that I'm taking. I have taken a couple trades since then. I took an Ethereum short that I closed at entry. I took a Wi-Fi long that I closed for like a minus 0.7 R loss, I believe. I got stopped out on a Litecoin long. So just a few things like that. I'm not trying to only show you winners, but those trades really just weren't interesting at all, and there was nothing technical going on with them really that I could explain. But this dot position I think is a little bit different because there's some really clean levels that I want to go over and explain to you guys. But again, I just wanted to mention that, I'm not only trying to share my winners, I share my losers also. But my last few trades really there was nothing special about them. So anyway, as far as dot has been something I've been interested in for a while, especially after our last long did so well. Dot is still doing well. I still wanted to get in that position. I did not believe that it topped here, although look at that clean sweep of the highs before selling off, right? Everything about this chart is fairly clean, and what really got me interested in another dot long was where price started to bounce from. Look at all of that demand from the area that the consolidation that led to our local high, right? So that was really the longest consolidation we have on this chart since the initial breakout at like $5, right? Maybe here, sure, for like a day we consolidated, but for here, a day and a couple more hours we consolidated. So it was either we bounce here or we would bounce at the like 650-ish area. But because we saw so much demand in this area, that immediately got me interested, okay? Again, I'm using the replay function here so we can kind of just talk about everything, and I can show you what got me really interested in the long position and what solidified my argument. Okay, so I had this on my watch list. I was tracking this, and for me, I just did not want to leave blind bids in this area because of how volatile the market has been. Hindsight is 2020, of course, and I could have set blind bids there and they probably would have been fine, but I really just don't like setting blind bids most of the time. I feel like especially with altcoins, they could just have a crazy like 10% wick or something like that, and I'll immediately get stopped out. I'd rather react to the market conditions or the reaction from a significant area. So here we could see that dot is kind of putting in a series of higher lows, right? And what I believe after this sell-off right here is that this swing high will be a key level going forward in terms of low time frame. Okay, so this swing high compared to this series of lower highs, breaking that should give me a move up to fill like this inefficiency right there. I can't say that word. I guess it's too early for that word, but either way, that was the thought process here. So this series of lower highs is not yet valid. I hadn't even drawn that on my chart yet. The only thing I had on my chart is this swing high right here, okay? So we'll see as time goes on if that swing high will actually be valid or not, but let's continue onward here. So this is really what confirms this series of lower highs and higher lows, this little triangle we have going on here, because of the sell-off below, or the hourly close below the bottom diagonal. Right, we can see the next hourly is actually getting rejected by it. So in terms of what I look for, that's good enough for me to say, what, this diagonal is actually valid. So that confirms our argument there. Strong reaction after reclaiming that diagonal. Let's see if we get rejected by the swing high, and we do. Okay, so this is a valid diagonal for me now. We're clearly getting rejected from the diagonal resistance along with our confluent swing high resistance, because look, we have two wicks that go directly into that swing high. Okay, so we also have that confluent resistance. So what I'm looking for is just more confluent areas that I could look for price to reclaim in order for it to, my argument to become stronger and stronger, right? Because if I was just basing this trade off of the diagonal, sure, it could work, but it doesn't give me enough confidence as if I would have just something else to factor in and something else to reclaim. So, everything is stronger, right? Okay. Again, strong reaction from the series of higher lows. So now this is good for me, right? I'm looking for now a reclaim of this swing high along with this diagonal. Okay, and my entry area was like 6.5 to 5 or something like that, 8.65 to 8.5, something like this, right? So I was trying to catch some sort of pullback into this swing high. So all I was waiting for was a break from this, reclaim of that swing high, then I'm going to set my bids and post the official trade, obviously. And my stop loss was 8.121. So this is really just a continuation play where my first take profit was 9.5, and I'll go over that in 1 second. Let's do this, something like there. That's basically the trade. All right, it may not be exact to the penny, but that is basically the trade. Okay, so a play like this is a continuation play. So I could really, in theory, have my stop loss a bit tighter, but because Bitcoin was kind of just a little bit shaky and chopping around, I didn't want to have it too tight because there's really just no point. All it would change is make the risk to reward a little bit more flashy, which I really don't care about. But anyway, let's continue on here. So right here is where I thought my argument would be invalid and we would come down and test this demand one more time. Okay, but again, if we reclaim that bottom diagonal in an hour or two, my argument is still valid. See, and you could see in terms of the lower time frame price action really quickly there that this hourly was getting rejected by that bottom diagonal. So that just goes to show you that this was indeed valid. If this didn't convince you back here, then this price action definitely did. We got to break above our swing high, above our diagonal. Now we just need to hold above there. Perfect retest, absolutely perfect retest of this breakout point at the diagonal resistance, right? That's a retest that you want to see. That's the wick you want to see on that retest. Overall, this is great. I believe this is where I posted the official trade on this candle. It may be the candle after, I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, I posted it somewhere here. Okay, all the bids were filled. We can see that we start to grind up here. And before we go any further, I just want to talk about take profit one. And take profit one, and really all of my take profits for this trade, are just based on these swing highs. That's literally all it is. Okay, and I went over these swing highs in my last dot long video, I believe, but if you didn't see it, I'll quickly go over them again. So these swing highs and swing lows are important to me because we had such a strong reaction after putting in the high or the low. So when I'm looking for a swing high, I'm looking for an area that maybe doesn't wick really that hard, but some sort of very strong reaction after putting in that high. Okay, so this is going to be a very valid swing high because we went up 19%, fell 12% after putting in that high, and as you can see, if we extend that line to the right, look at all of those key support and resistance flips all in here. Right, so this is going to be a very important area going forward. That is also my take profit one. We would also fill this gap here, sweep the highs that led to our move down. So overall, that is my take profit one. Okay, and that's how I came to that conclusion. Take profit two, you guessed it, is somewhere right 986, somewhere right here-ish, right there-ish. Again, just based on this swing high, we can see how important this swing high was as well. All of those support and resistance flips there, those wicks. I mean, look at that clean support and resistance flip right there that started our sell-off. All right, that's take profit two. And take profit three, you will not believe where take profit three is. Take profit three is just above this last swing high. Okay. I was debating if I wanted to put it below here. I may change it up because, I'm front running all of these swing highs for take profit one and two. But for this one, I really believe that DOT will go much higher than take profit 3. Obviously, I'm not a fortune teller, so I'm not sure if it will be on this attempt that it goes much higher. But I do just want to see how it reacts after going to that 10.64 level. You know, it's really not that high past the swing high, so I'm sure we'll maybe wick into it again and fill it, and then maybe sell off. Who knows? But either way, that's how I came to my take profits. We can see how things worked out here. First take profit was what? Somewhere like here, 9.5-ish. Doesn't matter. But yep, there's take profit 1 that hit. Now we are reclaiming this swing high, which is really, really great to see. I'm very happy to see that. Look, we could see that we got rejected by it, nearly closed the hourly below, but we didn't. Retested that hourly as support, the swing high as support, and now we're continuing to grind up. Take profit 2 is incoming soon, which is really nice to see. Overall, really great trade from DOT. I'm happy with how it's gone so far, and I believe that's everything I want to talk about. If you guys have any further questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.